Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're at and when you're watching this. Thank you for checking out my channel. As I said last time, you guys have helped me pass 200 subscribers. I think I'm at 218 now, so thank you very much for that. If you haven't already taken part in it, if you look in the description link, there'll be information about my 100 subscriber contest that remains ongoing. Check it out. You can help out some good causes and get some free comics in the process. Speaking of that, want to shout out the Comic Corps. Recently, a member of our community's daughter has required some surgeries, and unfortunately it sounds like she's going to require some more. Her name's Moyra. They've done 2 charity auctions for her so far, have a GoFundMe page set up, and an awesome member of the community who you probably know as the Slab Dragon, TJ Watson, donated a ton of books, which the Comic Corps is putting together in what they're calling DragonHeart boxes. Those are going to be going on sale shortly, and the proceeds for those are going to benefit Moyra too. So that's a way you can contribute if you haven't yet. You can still donate to the GoFundMe. I'll have that link below, as well as a link to the Comic Corps page where you can get more information on the DragonHeart boxes and the situation in general there. But thank you to everyone who contributed already, either by donations for the auction, purchases through the auction, donations to the GoFundMe, or just being the awesome people at the Comic Corps making us all aware of this. This community continues to impress me. It's a strong bond, and they really step up when people need help. So it's awesome. I'm happy to be a part of it, and good on you all who have helped out. One other quick thing, I want to shout out a couple birthdays. Comics Misexplained, Discovery Bay, and Justin, Exilestate Comics, all had birthdays recently, so happy birthday, guys. Hope you had awesome ones. This is going to be a combination new comic haul video mostly, but also a few back issues I picked up recently, and a couple really cool things, 3 of which came from the last Comiclink auction, which I finally got. So I know a lot of people don't really care about the new books, and normally I would show them first, but there's a bunch, so I'm going to do it backwards this time. I'm going to start out with the back issues here and show you what we got. So moving along quickly, this is from the Comiclink auction. I've got a few of these already, but I continue to grab them. I think it's an undervalued, underappreciated book. This is All-Star Comics number 58. It's a CGC 9.0, and it is the first appearance of Power Girl. There she is. And it's got white pages, which is nice. Don't spec on a lot of books, but that is one I'm speculating on. I just think it's a matter of when she shows up, not if. And kind of won't surprise me if we see her in this CW Crisis story coming up. Another of the books I grab whenever I see them. I've got quite a few of these now, but I love it. I think it's underappreciated. This is Forever Evil number 4, the 1 in 25 variant cover by Ethan Van Sciver. And in it, Batman has a yellow lantern ring, which is pretty cool. Still an affordable book. Cool cover. Some Van Sciver goodness. So picked that up off of eBay recently. This is one of the cooler books I got from the last Comiclink auction. This is a Golden Age book, Fiction House, 1944. It's Jungle Comics number 52. It's CGC graded 7.5 with off-white to white pages. You haven't noticed lately, the last couple of Golden Age books I bought have had crocodiles or alligators on them. Kind of not intentionally, but it's working out that way, so maybe, who knows, maybe that'll be a new niche. But you got a cool bondage cover, a really cool alligator. If you care about such things, it's got the little CVA sticker on there, which is in a way to extort more money out of you, basically. But the Comiclink offers a service where if your book is exceptional example of that grade, for a fee, they'll give you a sticker that says it's, and there's versions of it, gold and silver, and haven't paid that much attention to them. Not why I bought the book. funny story about this book, and an ironic story now that I think about it, because it's slabbed. When I was a kid, and when I say kid, I was young, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. One of my friends used to hang out with he had an older brother who collected comics, and he was cool about letting us read most of them, and that's where I discovered a lot of the Marvel magazines from the late 70s, early 80s, which were completely different and awakening from an art perspective. Stuff like Savage Sword of Conan and Cole, and some of the Marvel Monster mags. Probably some of my first Warren stuff there. But, you know, the art was different. They were black and white. They were much more real world than the superhero books. You know, no bright colors. Blood was black, but it was, you know, graphic creatures. You know, just had all these really cool artists on the books and stuff. Especially Savage Sword of Conan. That was definitely where I fell in love with Conan and with comic art in general. But anyway, his brother had this stack of books that we could look at. And then he had another stack of books which we couldn't look at. And at the time, I assumed it was because of content, but it was actually because of what he had paid for them. They were Golden Age books, and at the time, he had paid, you know, under $10 a piece for them, but that was a lot compared to the new comics he was buying for, you know, 35 and 50 cents. So we weren't allowed to look at those ones, and one of them was that Jungle Comics, and I always wanted to read this book. And it's ironic that I now have it, and it's slabbed, and I still can't read it unless I crack the slab, which is entirely possible that I might do, but not today. So anyway, I rambled on about that for long enough. Let's see, what else did I pick up? There were a couple of store exclusive variants. This is Web of Black Widow #1 by Shannon Mayer. There's two versions of this. There's a trade dress and the Virgin. The Virgin was substantially more, and I was happy with the trade dress. So pick that up. It's a really nice cover. Got a John Gallagher Red Sonja Virgin cover. This is Sword of the She-Devil #1 Virgin variant. It's a base cover. Alright, glare is not my friend. And I picked up another John Gallagher cover. I've shown in previous videos, I picked up some of the Transformers ones. I'm trying to fill them all in when they're reasonably priced. So this is the Soundwave G1. It's from the current series, but they're drawn to look like the G1 characters, which is cool. And you got Ravage on there too. I forget, I think they only made 500 copies of each of those. That's #2, and they've got certificates. And this is the recently released Spider-Verse #1. These are the Greg Horn variant covers, and they're signed with certificates. So the first three are kind of an evolution of Spider-Gwen into a Carnage-ized Spider-Gwen. So that's the A cover. There's the signature. You got your COA. This is the B cover. You can see she's starting to turn. Signature. It's the C cover where now she's full-blown Carnage. Oops. Got stuff over. Signature. And the D cover, which has nothing to do with Carnage, it's more traditional. Got the doves in the background, which is cool. Signed it in pink, which kind of goes with the cover. Sitting on a rooftop with the birds. Just a beautiful cover. If you're offended by nudity, skip the next minute. This cover has a topless woman on it. So this is Budroot's Cave Woman Riptide Special Edition E. It's a cover homage to Action Comics #1. Show up close. Got Miriam hitting a dinosaur in the head with a car. How cool is that? So, normally I only pick up the Connie covers of Cave Woman books, but this one was cool. It's limited. Comes with a certificate. I picked up a couple of copies of those. I think it's pretty neat. This came out last week, but I have it with these because it's a variant. This was Ghost Rider #2, Clayton Crane 1 in 25 variant cover. Both Johnny Blaze and Dan Ketch on there. Cool cover. Alright, then a bit of quick housekeeping. Last time I showed off a Gen 13 #1 CGC 9.8 I had picked up, and I mistakenly said that I believe that was my first 9.8 CGC graded book. I forgot that I had 2 others prior to that, and then I've added 2 since, but just showing those again. I showed this when I got it. I don't know how I forgot about it, but I did. This book is a ghost. This is part of 6 connecting cover set, and it's a 9.8. It's a rare book in any grade, but a 9.8 is pretty stupid of it. This is the 2010 Wolverine #1, and it's I forget which piece of the puzzle is. I think it's the 4th one, but this is the Marco Djurjevic. I can never say his name. Djurjevic. But there were 1 in 50 connecting Djurjevic covers, and there are 1 in 75. This is one of the 1 in 75s, and they're all hard to get. The X-Force, X-23 one rather, is the super expensive one. That book goes over $1,000, so I'll never put the set together. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll use this for trade bait. I picked that up at Comiclink a while back, but I forgot about it. So that was my first 9.8. I also had this one. I don't know if I ever showed this on YouTube. I like Psylocke and I like Mark Brooks, so I bought this already graded as a CBCS 9.8 with a signature series signed by Brooks and by Charles Soule, or Soule, however you say his name. And this is Astonishing X-Men #1 variant cover. So at the time I said that other Gen 13 was my first 9.8, it was actually my third 9.8. And then I picked up 2 more since. One of them, this was in the Comiclink auction. This is a version of a cover I've wanted forever. It was originally a Michael Turner cover used on a European book, which I've never been able to get, but 2 years ago, San Diego Comic-Con did a Michael Turner 3-book set, and this was the 3rd book in the set. So this is Virgin cover of Superman Batman #8, which was where Michael Turner and Jeff Loeb reintroduced Supergirl. So this one's a San Diego Comic-Con. Let's see if we can get it there. Aspen exclusive Turner cover. So it's not the first time this cover's seen print. Like I said, it was done with trade dress and a blue background on a European book, which is pretty hard to find, but I'm actually happy with this Virgin cover. So now I have it in my collection. And the last one I'm super excited about. When I got this book previously, I showed it, and I was ecstatic. It had been on my list forever since the time I saw it. It took me years and years to finally get one. And I'd only seen 3 in 2 years, and one of them was Beat to Hell. One was raw and way overpriced for the grade it appeared to be, and then this one popped up, and I ended up getting it. I showed it before. This is the Transformers All Hail Megatron Apocalypse Comics exclusive Killing Joke homage variant cover. This was a 9/4. I got this, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. Thought I was done with the book and never would have to worry about it again. Book is a super ghost, and I was thrilled to have it. And then, out of the blue, this one showed up on eBay as a one-day auction. I have no idea why the seller only put it up for a day, but it was to my advantage because not many people got a chance to see it, and it would have gone for double what I paid for it, which was still a lot. But I am thrilled to have this at 9.8. I haven't looked at the census, but I pretty much guarantee it's the highest graded copy. If there is a 9.9 or a 10, which with this black cover I don't think there is, I will not be paying for whatever ridiculous price it will go for. So this is the highest I'm going to go with this book. Thrilled to own it. And yeah. And just because you've probably never seen this before and doubt you'll ever see it again, here's two of them in the same place at the same time. This book is absolutely a ghost. So that's my back issues, my CGC books. Now I have 5 9/8 and you know it. So we'll go a lot quicker now here through the newer stuff. Start out with a couple of trades. I don't read Black Science by a single issues, but I pick up the trades as they come out, and this is the series finale. So see how that wraps up. That's volume 9, but it completes the series. I missed out totally on the single issues of Amber Blake. I picked up the trade paperback, which came out this week. And one of my favorite series, written by Cullen Bunn, that almost nobody read, except for maybe the Free Comic Book Day book. But you should definitely invest in the trades. There's a $10 version of the first trade. Go try it. You'll be hooked. You'll be happy you did. This is the 6th gun. I have the single issues, but I want other people to read it, and I don't like to lend people the single issues, so I buy the hardcovers. These are oversized deluxe editions. They're called Gunslinger editions. So it's volume 6, which I think completes the story, or it might be one more. Nope, I lied. There's one more coming. So there'll be a volume 7 to get them all. But go read the 6th gun if you haven't done it. You'll be happy you did. And then we'll get to the new books and let you guys get out of here. So these are, I think, in order from newest to oldest. But this is from Alterna Comics. This is Voidwalker #1. It's from Image Comics, Undiscovered Country #1. Scott Snyder. I'm sure most people picked that book up this week. From DC Comics, Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, this is Basket Full of Heads #1. Savage Avengers #7. Fortunately, no more Diodato on that book, but still good. Conan, Punisher, come on. Savage Avengers Annual. Last issue of Deceased. This is the Matina cover. Dark Side. Kick-Ass #10. Wonder Woman Annual 3. Conan the Barbarian #10. This book is great. If you're not reading it and you like Conan, you should be. Final issue of Dead Man Logan. This is #12. Vampire State Building #2. It's cool. King Konish homage cover. Marvel Zombies Resurrection #1. This is the B cover. I think it's in Huckley. After a long hiatus, we finally get Death and Glory back. This is Rick Remender. It's issue 6. Probably been at least 6 months since we had an issue of that. Chip Zdarsky, Daredevil #13. Another series, if you're not reading, you should be. It's excellent. Great Kingpin cover. Greg Rucka, Lois Lane #5. It's the last issue, speaking of Deodato, of Berserker Unbound. It's number 4 of 4. Die number 9. This book used to be called Dead Rabbit. Now it's Dead Eyes. It's number 2. So now we've had 2 issues that constitute what was originally released as 1 and 2. So number 3 should be new material finally. So looking forward to that. It was a good start. We've got Coffin Bound, which has been pretty good so far. It's a cool cover. Interesting stuff going on in the background. Always pick up the Linsner covers of Red Sonja. It's a beautiful cover. This is Punchline number 9. Up 2 copies of the blank Mary Jane one. One day I'll get to a show again and maybe get somebody to draw Mary Jane on there for me. Batman Curse of the White Knight number 4. Punchline number 8. So now we know it's been at least 2 months since I did a haul video. Ed Brubaker Criminal number 9. Always a great series. There's Wonder Woman number 81. It's a Jenny Frison cover. King Thor number 2. The series has been great. And as you see there, Gore is back. It's Punisher Kill Crew number 4. It's a really nice cover. This is the Stanley Artgerm Lau cover of Mary Jane number 1. And this is the chalk variant. These are kind of like unannounced 1 in 10 variant covers. It's just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Valkyrie number 4. This is the Mary Jane variant cover. Star Wars 73. Winding that series down. It's going to be relaunched with number 1 on week of New Year's. And basically they're just jumping it past The Empire Strikes Back, which is where the story's almost caught up to. It's the last issue of Sharky. Check out that cover. It's a cool cover. It's Mark Miller. This was Dead Eyes, formerly Dead Rabbit number 1. That's the 2nd printing. Just technically the 3rd printing. This is Tommy Gun Wizards number 3. The series has been fun. It's the Untouchables with magic thrown in the mix. It's Savage Tales one-shot featuring Red Sonja. Basically an excuse to do a $4.99 Halloween book, but I always pick up Red Sonja. And actually one of my customers' relative worked on this book, so I wanted to get it to support him. Probably get him to sign it for me. It's Analog number 9. Really good series that nobody's reading. Hopefully this gets optioned at some point. It would be a cool show. Another great book. Everybody's all over Donny Cates stuff except for this book. It's like everybody dropped it after the first arc, but it's really, really, really good. You should catch up. This is Redneck. Next issue will be 25. Can only imagine what's going to happen because the crap has already hit the fan. Another series I love the original run of that's back. I recommend people pick it up and start reading again. This is Postal Deliverance. This is issue 4. First series ran about 24 issues, and then they had a couple of one-shots to wrap it up, but now they brought it back, and it's been just as good. This is Oblivion Song number 20, Robert Kirkman. This is Vampirella Red Sonja number 2. This is a David Mack cover. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I love that cover. Wonder Woman number 80. Not such a great cover, but I read it. This is, there was a B-level horror movie a few years back called Hatchet, which they made 2 more sequels to since. Kind of got an underground following, and they do comics periodically for it. They're not great, but it's, you know, bubblegum fun. So it's a takeoff of The Shining, this cover. This is the Halloween Hatchet Tales, which is a spin-off of that. I just like the cover. East of West 43. Zinnober one-shot. Thought that series was done, so I'm glad they're revisiting it. Plus it's got an awesome freaking dragon on it, so come on. Deceased number 5. Cool Wonder Woman cover. Hit Girl number 9. Firefly number 10. Savage Sword of Conan number 10. And last but not least, from Red 5 Comics, The Dark Age number 3. That's it, guys. I know this was a little long, but had a lot to show. Thanks for watching. Please look at my description. There's a lot of things in there that are relevant. Check out Comics Altruism's page. Johnny's doing some awesome stuff for charity. Check out the Comic Corps and the fundraising they're doing for Moyra. Check out my 100 subscriber contest. You can help out people there and get some free comics out of the deal. And have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.